Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Big news for any classic rock fan this week. You see, Alice Cooper is back. Not Alice Cooper the man, but Alice Cooper, the freaking band. All right, so as a lot of my longtime viewers know, I'm a major Alice Cooper fan. I bought their Killer album back in 1972, and it was forward from that moment on. You see, Alice Cooper was kind of my crazy band. All of the dress up, the beheadings on stage, I bought into it as well as their wonderful music. And while Alice has had a storied solo career, it's always been the original lineup that I absolutely loved. I was a fan of not only Alice, but of Dennis Dunaway, Michael Bruce, Neil Smith, and Glen Buxton. And guess what? The original band is putting out a brand new album. Now, I've covered this possibility many times on this channel in the past, basing my hopes, my desires, and if you remember, my prediction that we were gonna get one more Alice Cooper band album after 50 years of no such thing. The new album cover looks more like a movie poster, and it's entitled The Revenge of Alice Cooper, directed by Bob Ezrin. All right, we're going to get into the meat of the subject here in an article by UCR, as they've announced this brand new album, again by the original Alice Cooper band. Yes, even with an appearance from the departed Glen Buxton. Now, the album will contain 14 cuts, and it already has a single out called Black Mamba that's being played today on Alice's radio show. I don't have access to that, so I haven't heard the song, but it's within hours of being released, and when I hear it, I will definitely give you guys some sort of feedback as to what I think of it. But there is a short out that contains an ominous bass line with a guitar that almost sounds like a wolf howling in the woods on a full moon. If that musical passage that I've heard just today is part of Black Mamba, I'm all in, baby. Now, the article starts off with a couple of things I've already mentioned here. It says Alice Cooper, the original group, not the solo artist, have announced their first new studio album in over 50 years. The Revenge of Alice Cooper, which arrives July 25th, features all 4 surviving members. You'll have singer Alice Cooper, guitarist Michael Bruce, bassist Dennis Dunaway, and drummer Neil Smith. It also contains a special appearance by the late guitarist Glen Buxton, who died in 1997, on the song What Happened to You, which was based on a riff of one of his demos, and they built the whole song around that. So for at least one track, we have the entire original Alice Cooper band on this album. And as far as the other tracks go, we have 4 out of 5 of the original members. That in itself is a modern day rock and roll miracle. Now, in a new interview with Billboard, Cooper says working together again felt very natural. It was very much like this was our next album after Muscle of Love. Isn't that funny? After 50 years, it felt the same. All of a sudden, it just falls into place. Now, the article goes on to say another important member of the team is also returning. The Revenge was produced by longtime Cooper collaborator and legend, I might add, Bob Ezrin. Cooper goes on to say regarding the recording of this album, on this album it was much more of a band where each of us had a certain say. It wasn't like one of my albums. I'm not going to have a final say on it. I had 1/4 of the say on it, and that's the way we always did it. Now that's interesting, folks, because I think that exact statement is one of the very reasons that the Alice Cooper Band rose to the top of theatrical rock and still to this day gains new fans generation after generation. Now, Alice's current band have announced touring this summer, right? But he's open to including the original band under these conditions. Here it reads, the singer tells Billboard he's open to performing live with the original band again under the right circumstances. I don't really seeing it being a full tour, but I could see it being a feature, like maybe going into certain cities, Detroit, New York, LA, London maybe, and doing a half-hour or 40-minute set in a club or something. We always leave these things open, and if it looks feasible, then we'll do it. You know what, folks? That's the concert I want to see. I'd love to see Alice Cooper with his new band. You all know I'm a fan of what he does with that band. I think they're top-notch, but this is the show I want to see. What do you guys think? Which one of these lineups are you more excited to see? Are you planning to go see Alice Cooper on the road this year? It's open for me, and I would be open to seeing him with his current band, of course. But if I had the choice to see this lineup, this is the one I'd pay triple top dollar to see. Now, the album will have 14 cuts, so it is a full album, and the track list is as following. The album opens up with their new single, Black Mamba. It goes on to Wild Ones, Up All Night, Kill the Flies, One Night Stand, Blood on the Sun, Crap, That Gets in the Way of Your Dreams. All right, I would imagine that's side 1. Side 2 starts with Famous Face, Money Screams, What a Sid, Intergalactic Vagabond Blues, I Ain't Done Wrong, and See You on the Other Side. Now just imagine that. A classic rock legend of a band with a full brand new album, not just like 9, 10, 11 cuts, but 14 freaking cuts on this album. Brand new, and Alice Cooper is open to touring with them on and off, hitting certain cities. I wish he would just tour with this band and tour this album alone. So, what do you guys think of this? How big of an Alice Cooper fan have you been over the years? And if you are an Alice Cooper fan, does this news excite you? Are you willing to go out and purchase this album based on what this band's output has been in the past, and also based on some of those original members showing up for certain cuts on the last 3 Alice Cooper albums? Is that enough? Does that give you enough faith to blindly go out and order this album? I'll tell you what, folks, it does for me, because that's what I'm going to do. How about you? Oh, and speaking of new releases, I've been sitting on this story until I can't stand it anymore. This portion of the video, we're going to switch to the Beatles for a moment. Basically, what we're hearing right now is that it looks like that there is a chance that the Beatles are going to be releasing a 30th anniversary version of their anthology albums, with hints that they will even be reworking the 2 John Lennon songs that were attached to that project, like they did with John's latest cut, a cut that went to #1 in England. And the scuttlebutt is they're going to add that to this, even though they just added that single to the Beatles, what is it, the Blue album, for the Red and Blue releases. So now they're going to take it off that. A lot of us were pissed off that they, released the Red and Blue albums instead of Rubber Soul, but some of us understood that, expecting that the next year we would get Rubber Soul, because 30-year anniversary be damned, folks. This year is the 60th anniversary of Rubber Soul. What the hell is going on? If we get Anthology instead of Rubber Soul, I'm going to tell you that is not only wrong, it is a disservice to rock and roll's very first true album. What do I mean by that? Well, it was the Beatles. By releasing Rubber Soul, their whole intent was to create an album that had a feel. The songs were purposefully written to sound and go around a certain musical theme. First time any rock band ever did that. And on its 60th anniversary, at a time where we have the technology to give it a wonderful remix and re-release, what are they doing? They're taking certain cuts off of that, remastering it just like we had hoped, and putting it over on the Red and Blue albums, right? And what a disservice. The Beatles are in charge of this. I can't see a way out for them at this point. This is a major problem with me, folks. The Red and Blue albums were bad enough. If we get Anthology, and guess what? I'd love to get an Anthology re-release down the line, but not this year. And it looks like that's exactly what we're gonna get. All right, that's the video for tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That always helps the YouTube algorithm send this thing over to a wider group of audiences, right? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all of my future videos. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line. But once again, everything I've said in this video is just how I see it. The real opinion of this channel always comes out in the comments, and I cannot wait to hear what you got to say on these two subjects tonight. First of all, what do you think of the brand new Alice Cooper Band album? And what are you guys feeling about a possible Anthology release rather than Rubber Soul? All right, again, Michael Noland, and I'll see you all in my next video.